I have talked a lot about the Vedas. This intense philosophy is necessary for leading our life. Even yesterday I told you that we are living our life with illness, sorrow, aches and pains. We shove them aside to find peace. Even though we are not sure that we will find peace, we are always led by hope. In some way or the other, we are always trying to find that which is the ultimate joy, the Paramananda. Whether we understand or not, that Paramananda is contentment. Contentment is the main thing, whether you are pursuing meditation, knowledge, or love. All of us are seeking that contentment, but we cannot find it. Illness, sorrow, aches and pains are coming our way because we are seeking ultimate contentment. We should try to understand whether we are pawns in the game of creation, born to suffer only, or is there any other deeper purpose? We have to live simply, with simple intelligence, and we should solve everything through simple means. There is no need to sharpen our intelligence. Is life meant only for getting hurt and to suffer? Could the purpose of such a great creation be only suffering? Isn't there any other deeper purpose? We are advancing without knowing what is in store for us. That is why everybody is trying to look for peace here. But nobody knows where to find peace. What will happen after this? All this remains unanswered. You can follow the order of creation. Then you will easily get the answer to your queries. Some hints have been given in class. I go on repeating it so that it registers easily. The order of creation, while happening, is pointing at what will happen after life. If you pay attention, then you will understand. But if you try to look for honey in the flower, you will be at a loss. But the bee extracts honey easily. The bee reaches the honey, but we cannot. The intelligence, knowledge, and the conscience that we have is adequate enough for seeking. We do not need to look elsewhere. Everything is before us. If you can perceive, you will be surprised. The Vedas are telling you that you need not go elsewhere. The solution is staring at you from the time of your birth. Millions of living beings are getting everything. How did all this water, these trees, the fish come? They have all come with the creation. Your needs are met instantaneously. I go on telling you again and again, so that you understand clearly. But how should we imagine that unknown land? How to think? Without knowing, how can we think? So we have to know beforehand. For this, you do not need to read a big book. Just get to know the basics. There are only so many words, but with those limited words, millions of books have been written. How will we know about space? Although planets are interlinked, yet they do not know each other. Is it possible? Can there be creation without relationship? Everybody can see each other, yet there is no give and take, no dialogue. How is that possible? When there is creation, then you have come with a relationship. You are ready. If you are ready, then why cannot I accept you? Why cannot I understand the other? We are all ready. Our instruments are in tune. We have the assets. If you do not know how to play the instrument, then who can help you? Fix the direction according to the law. It is not true that you do not have power. Everything comes with practice. Nature has harmony. We cannot attune ourselves, and that is why we get out of tune. When somebody plays well, you feel like listening, but when somebody plays badly, you feel like plugging your ears. The harmonium that we are playing is out of tune, and also expressing the tune of despair. So, nobody can live in peace. If it can be brought back to tune, then everybody will be enchanted. All the keys are in place. You just have to press the right keys. You yourself should realize your own mistakes. That you can realize your own mistakes is a great thing. Rectifying does not take much time once we have seen our mistake. But we have lost that urge, that inspiration. We have forgotten that the eternal tune can be played in this harmonium. It would have been different if we did not have the harmonium. Everybody is tinkering with the harmonium. Hunger and thirst are not the same. If we eat a few rasgullas, when I am thirsty, my thirst will not be quenched. My thirst can be quenched only with water. One can never make another person understand one's thirst. But the problem is that we ourselves do not know whether we are thirsty or not. We would not have suffered so much if we did not have hunger and thirst. When you have been invited and given only rice, you die of hunger because dal had not been served with the rice. You did not want water at that time. You needed your rice and dal only. Illness, sorrow, aches and pains are prompted by what? Hunger or thirst? Why should we suffer all unless and until there is a purpose? If the future is not latent in them, we are always trying to avoid illness, sorrow, conflict, suspicion, anger, passion, belief, and disbelief. The hunger and thirst for the ultimate cannot be satiated by good food. When the son dies, can the mother fill up that void by eating good food? We try to get Tripti, Paramananda, Chidananda, and Brahmananda, contentment, ultimate joy, joy of the heart and soul, and joy in the great soul, in various ways. We get hurt continuously. We misunderstand and we are misunderstood. We are trying to compromise all the time. Have we come to this world for this? We are alive just because we feel sorrow and pain. When my arm is twisted, I scream. That saves my arm from being broken. But there is a limit to tolerance. One can tolerate to a certain point and not beyond that. But why do we have to face all this? Is there a message for us in all this? We cannot blame nature, thinking that nature is punishing us. Nature gives proof of its consciousness through everything. We should be able to decode the message. If we can, then everything will become crystal clear. We ourselves are full of solutions. Then why do we talk of want? We are stuffing ourselves with food, and even then you hanker for pan or betel leaves. If it is not given, then you criticize the host. What kind of life are you leading? If there was only peace, then nobody would have valued it. It is precisely because there is a lack of peace that we seek it. When you are harassed by sufferings like illness, sorrow, etc., then only you realize that there is something called great joy which eludes you. According to the original tune, you do not become religious by just reading the scriptures. You need a strong foundation. Only when the structure is erected, you can establish God there. The Vedas give you that kind of foundation on which you can place God. This foundation is nothing other than ethics. It provides you with the foundation for the state of great joy that you are seeking. From this you will learn the real nature of the Vedas and realize how at every moment it is helping us. When you look at something, you just see the outer form, but the doctor can see the inside also and know the problems. You need to dissect nature in a similar way to find out its mystery. Only then will you find all the solutions to your problems. There is always an introduction before the main book. You will get to know a lot about the book if you read the introduction. Life is continuously sending you messages. Try to understand them. Even when one dies, the dead body retains consciousness. Apparently, it is in a state of unconsciousness. We say he was, but now he is no more. But who in this body listened, understood, or ate? Do we know it? I have seen in my childhood that even after its head had been chopped off, a tortoise would bite the stick offered to its mouth. We cannot find what we think we have realized. It has vanished. I am within vision and also outside it. You cannot see me like you cannot see the world with your ordinary vision. This void is existent in your body also. The sky is a void. You cannot see a trace of water there, but it is getting filled up with water. The rain pours from there as if it is pouring from nowhere. The message and the tune that space is sending to us is within our body. How much of intelligence do we find in our body? The space from where millions of planets and stars are hanging is full of a great consciousness. When we hear, talk, see, and appreciate beauty, who does all these? Everything is arranged so nicely in our body that through our sense organs like the nose, tongue, the eyes, etc., we realize everything. When we hold the pulse, we know whether a person is alive or dead. What little we realize is only a little of the great space. It is only through what we perceive in the visible world of living beings that help us to understand the great space. Otherwise, we will not be able to understand. I am full of consciousness. How, I do not know. If you cut off someone to bits, you will not find him in the parts. But when you join the parts together, then only you will find him again. It is not difficult to know the beyond if we understand the message that is in space and also in our body. What we regard as existence appears to be non-existent. It is the same as the sky containing water which is not visible. Do you see the water in the sky? But the void is full of resonance and full of tunes which we cannot see or understand. But how can we deny its presence? I exist in a limitless state, but my image is in the limit. I cannot be narrated, but I am present in the narration. I cannot be quantified or qualified. I am present in you in this state, but I also leave you. If you try to see me, you cannot. How can you find someone who is not there. Our home, our language, and our emotions are always in a negative state. That is why the breath goes out saying, I am not there. Again, when you breathe in, it says, I am here. You must remember this pattern. When you travel for mile after mile, you see only one village from the distance, although there are many villages. It is from this non-existence that we have to build up existence. From the navel, you build up the body. It is like creating an image by pressing a dice. Similarly, your consciousness, intelligence, and identity need to be built up. That you are advancing is both positive and negative. You can create your body, if you so desire, by remaining within your limit. The water of the world has vanished into the sky. It has hidden its separate identity and character and merged with the clouds. It is automatically resided in the sky. It is saying that it has its own identity, character, and consciousness, yet it is assuming a negative form. You cannot see that. Similarly, your bodies are moving like water in the flow of thought. This body can reside in a finer form by hanging on to the atoms of the sky. Then your inner being will feel that it is there, but it is a non-existent state. The message is that you can reside in any planet as you wish. You will be able to direct it from wherever you are through your thought and suggestion. From here, you can create the great book that will become the Vedas. Only then you will realize the nature and the theory of the great void. Ramo Narayana Ram.